Wherever you are in the world, welcome. This is W.O.R.K.S, and I'm your forever young host, Kim. And this morning I'm here with Marina. Hooray! Good morning, Marina.
Good morning, Kim. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. Extremely well. And I've been having a lovely week, really, with lots of exciting stuff going on. So I've been writing my new book, as you know, and I've been looking at all the wonderful things that are going to be happening at the Authors Award ceremony happening at the end of the month. And every time I look, there's something more exciting about it. So I'm really looking forward to being there at that. And it'll be the beautiful backdrop again of the Thames.
Yes, and I was thinking this morning of your book cover, and it's going to go out today. And I was thinking of the back of the cover. What's that you want to have on the back of your cover?
Oh gosh, I suppose I don't know actually. Come to think of it, because last time I had testimonials and then about me. No, I suppose an about me would be fine, but I wouldn't have testimonials for this book. It's very different.
So we have to think of something that the readers will enjoy reading. So yes, so your book title now is?
Still,
your book title now is
I'm still on the working
Forever
title.
Young, yes.
I'm still on the working title, and my working title at the moment is Living It Forward, Paying It Back.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Do you like that?
So very much. So let's put it together now. So Forever Young, and then the subtitle is?
Living It Forward, Paying It Back.
Living forward and paying it back. Let's say it again.
Living it forward and paying it back.
Wow. So it's very powerful. I think usually is always like a formula, but it's so simple and so beautiful. I have to say as it is. Wonderful. Yes. I'm very excited actually.
Good. I'm really glad because I don't think you realised that I started writing this book on the 31st of January after leaving Mahiki and being at an amazing event with you, where I think some of our listeners might have been also. And there were so many people speaking there. It was such an exciting evening that I came home, and before going to bed, I started writing this book. Which wasn't what I was planning to be writing, because as you know, I was actually supposed to be writing my advanced guide, which had already started and just needed typing up. So that one got moved into second place, and this one kind of started. And then you talked to me afterwards about writing a book, and I said, "Oh yeah, I started one," but I don't think you quite realised that I'd already been working on this. So that title came to me as I walked out of Mahiki. So
wow. Yeah. So you see, before we had another book in mind, and we had all the content, and for some reason, when we were trying to do the transcript to turn the audio into Word document, a very came back. It was so weird. So I was thinking, must be a reason behind this. So now I understand there is a reason behind, and we just need to embrace the reality as it comes, each moment as it comes, because it's always for a great reason. We don't even have a clue how amazing it's going to be. And I want to ask you about, you have an amazing ability to embrace life as it is, and be happy about what you have, and be happy with everything you are with no reason. Tell us more about that feeling when you are happy with no reason. You don't need any outside sources to keep you smiling. Tell us more about your own philosophy in life.
I don't know if other people would say that I'm happy for no reason. I guess I am very happy with simple things in life. So just to be with people that I care about, or to go and sit and spend some time with them, having a cup of coffee, or go for a walk, and things like that. Actually really do make me happy. I don't know if you've ever. I've been to Denmark. I went to Denmark. Oh, I would say about 7 years. Yeah, about 7 years ago. Coming up 7 years ago now. And when I went out to Denmark, there is a word they use called hygge, and I'd never come across this word before. It's a Danish word, and I thought, oh, okay. And what hygge means is to find pleasures, find the beauty and the comfort and the coziness in a moment. And it doesn't matter whether that moment's an extraordinary moment, like maybe something very exciting, like going up on stage and speaking, or releasing your new book or something like that. That moment, that could be something as exciting as that, but it just as likely to be something like sitting down with a cup of, I think they describe it as cocoa and cinnamon biscuits. In the very first time I came across it, it was described as the cozy feeling you have sitting down by a warm fire with cinnamon biscuits and cocoa. And so I think that the idea is the feeling I have, that I'm actually contented with relatively kind of homey kind of things, because you don't need stuff. I think, stuff's great, and who wouldn't want a nicer house and a car that's brilliant, I suppose. I'm not very good with cars. As long as they've got wheels and they turn on when I turn them on, apart from that, I can look at them, I can say, that one's really beautiful. But actually, I'm not that bothered about having one. It's never been my thing. But I know some people love cars, so and your car's very beautiful. So I think I can really enjoy them, and I'd like one that's open top. But quite frankly, I've never had a dream car, and I know people do. Yeah, I think though that for me, as long as I've got a car I can get in and go and visit somewhere beautiful, then I don't care which car it is, because it's the people in the car with me as I go, and the things that are there at the other end when I get there that are important to me. So I guess I think that stuff isn't that important to me, and doing things is important to me. So I think, yeah, I guess I am happy about simple things, which is nice to be able to find contentment in simple things. That word hygge, by the way, you might have seen it written all over cushions and cups and things, because all the hipsters are using it now, and they've all got knitted cushions, hygge written on. It's spelled Hyggge. And I was writing about it in my book just the other day, and I didn't expect you to ask me that. So there you go. That's something I hadn't really thought about. What makes you happy, Maureen?
What makes me happy? I think everything. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but it's true. No, I feel happy. I feel happy with just being by myself, or taking my shoes off and going for a walk, or playing with my grandchildren lately, or being with my friends, or talking with you, or talking with somebody I never met before, because that always gives me something amazing, gives me the chance to get to know myself, and that's very exciting. And yes, I think I don't need much to be happy. I just need myself. And for example, I just love to watch the river. Different times of the day, different times of the night is like it's spectacular. And I love to watch my grandson. Each day he's different. It's so spectacular. I think I love cooking. And when you start the recipe, the individual, let's say, carrots and items, red peppers, onion, whatever it is that I'm putting together, and they look so different. And then when I start mixing them and adding some little experimental herbs or whatever I'm doing, everything is different and smells so nice, and that makes me happy. So yes, I think life is not a sentence. Life is what you make of it, and all the time I wonder, what can I be next? So I help people see themselves as amazing sources of light for others. Because
yeah,
somebody said to me last weekend something that made me question a little bit my vision on being a light, my vision on seeing the light in other people. They said it cannot be only light, must be dark. It's yin and yang, so must be dark. But it's true, but the dark is outside and the light is inside. So the way I see it, you make it wonderful, you make life wonderful when you bring your own light into the dark, into the unknown, into relationships, into situation, into circumstances, is the word you are using. So by simply saying, oh, cannot be by light, you are stopping yourself from feeling your own light. I'm not considering myself, pure or the kind of person that doesn't understand dark or ugliness. I understand the good, the bad, and the ugly equally, but I choose light, and I choose to feel the light. I don't think you need much to make a choice. It is just important to make a choice. Yeah. And I don't think I need to be perfect. I think I'm awesome as I am, and it's nothing to do with anything else or anyone else. It's just me growing to this amazing person each day and giving me the recognition I deserve for working on it, giving myself that recognition. So I don't need to be going out there asking people, why don't you love me? Why don't you make you happy? Why don't you do this for me? Why don't you be me? So all my life I've been, because I've been a widow very early in my life, in my late 20s, I learned to not to have addictions. So when my husband passed away, my best friends changed. They changed the way they were looking at me. So yeah. I wasn't anymore the safe friend. I was suddenly a single woman. And both people in let's say a couple, both of them, they were looking at me in a different way, and that hurted me. So I was so much into that relationship with my friends that I couldn't understand how they cannot see that I'm exactly the same person. And I was the same person before, not because I was part of a couple, and now I was broken. Everything was taken away from me, and yet they wanted me to take what I thought about myself away from me. So I decided not to depend on anyone, not to depend on what other people think of me, just to be me. And if they like it, it's all right. If they don't like it, it's all right. You know, I can't control what other people think of me. It's nothing to do with me. It's none of my business. So I live my life very simply and very isolated. I spent tons of moments, quality moments with myself, simply because the people I knew before my husband passed away, they start looking at me with in a different way. They will keep asking me, when are we going to get married? Do we have a boyfriend? All that. So I didn't want to become somebody's wife just for the sake of convenience, or getting married for the wrong reasons, or to have a father for my children, which I couldn't anyway. But I decided to be myself no matter what. So it's happened long ago for me and become a way of life. And that's why I think it's easy because I survived that moment when I almost lost my purpose. I almost lost the reason of being. Of course, I had little children, so I was a very young widow. And apart from them, I had nothing to keep me going because everything was collapsing around me. You know, it was almost like they were happy around me as long as I was married, and they were happy around me as long as I was to be married. And I didn't want that. And then I realized that I could still be happy. You know, I don't need anyone's permission.
No.
It was a lot of social pressure at the time. So I realized that I don't need anyone's permission. And if I don't have the old friends, that's okay. I could be my own friend. So it's how I become my own friend and how I become somebody who needs very little to be happy. And
Yeah.
of course, you master it in time. This is 3 decades ago. So in time, you you become very good at. You know, it's almost like a skill. It's almost like it is a way of life, but you have to know how to handle it. You have to learn how to look at the bright side, and why the glass is always half full, cannot ever be half empty. And it just amazes me about you, the way you handle your realities, and you look at something which is a challenge and you turn it into an opportunity. You look at something which is a difficulty and you are saying to yourself, it is okay, thank you. So how do you cope with the lemons? Do you make a lemonade when life throws lemons at you, or how do you cope with that external impact on your calm beauty, inside beauty you hold?
I think sometimes, you know, life throws things at you, and like your computer goes bumps out, or the car breaks. Our car completely died a few weeks ago, and I think you just have to look at it and think. Obviously, at the time, I kind of it bothers me and I get upset, and it does impact on me. But you can't let it take everything away from you. Like you said, you lost your husband. Our car broke. Nothing. It's just a thing. It and so it's easy for me to kind of say, well, there are buses. I just have to get them until I buy a new car. In fact, I thought I was going to get that one repaired, but it actually didn't work that way. So now it's a new car. But not a new car, but another car to replace the one that's broken. Because I'm not going to wait for a new car. They take ages, don't they? Even if I've got to afford one. But I think you do have to kind of look and think what's more important here, and you know it's usually for you. You had to be right for your children, and so because the people in your life were not treating you the way they used to be, you had to say, well, okay, I'm moving on from there because I know who I am and I need to be here for my children. And I think when things happen to you, which they do, and they just do, everybody's life has ups and downs, peaks and troughs. And it's a journey and you can't expect the road to be smooth. And the thing is that you just have to get back on the bike and keep pedaling, don't you? I think. But yeah, it's interesting that you were talking about that because I was thinking, because as you know, I've been talking about the life balance wheel, and it's got various divisions on it, and one of the divisions on it is romance and perceived wisdom in most societies. I think because we're social human beings, people expect us all to go around life and go from a relationship to another relationship, and they won't expect us to go straight away. They expect us to have a polite break, but they don't expect us to then say, well, I'm happy with myself. And I think it's really difficult for people because society does put pressure on people to just go and find someone new to be with. And if you don't want to be with somebody new, that's just as valid as, or somebody ever. If you don't want to be with somebody, that's just as valid as choosing a person to be with, because you're choosing to be with yourself, aren't you? And yeah. Sorry, go on.
I think to gain that desire to be yourself without question, is it okay to be myself? It's a process. It's a process, and this is what I love about your book, because in reality is a Bible for keeping yourself alive and not just adding life days to your life. Just being present and enjoy every single moment, and enjoy life with no, external reasons, if I might say that, because we are social entities, and if you look outside in the world, they're not only humans you have to please or keep them happy. There are trees, there are, dogs and deers and cats and rivers and the sky and the stars. Is so much out there that you could connect with when you can't connect with the right people. I think it's worth connecting with the nature every single day as a tribute to beauty, because this is where we are coming from and this is where we are going eventually. We are here just for a little while, and this time here is not even your time. You borrow the time to make something out of your own gift, to that gift of giving you are given at birth, to master it, to work on it, and give it back. It is just imagine the seed of genius you've been given, and you have this. I don't know if it's the word moral is the right word, but you have this divine duty to grow the seed and leave a tree behind. This is how I see life. I don't see life like a sentence. I don't see that life, if things are happening to me, it's taking something away from me. I feel that each time something happened for me, so I could master my inner greatness. I could master that gift I was given at birth, and allow me to focus on that. I was lately, Kim, I was thinking about relationship capital, because everybody talks about it. It's a very trendy topic, and people think, oh, I have to go out networking, and I have to steal their clients because it's the cheapest way of marketing. And I totally disagree. I think if somebody goes out there thinking that relationship capital is about other people, I think that they're looking at the wrong side of things, because relationship capital starts with you. You have to have a great relationship with yourself. And to enhance that relation, to enrich that relation with yourself, you have to focus on your gift. You have to focus on what you have, and the more you give, the more you have. In my own experience, focusing on your true gift, it's worth the trouble of discovering your gift, because like in your book, it's about paying forward. And paying forward is the opposite of relationship capital. Relationship capital is understood or is misinterpreted at present, because we live in a instant gratification kind of society. And paying forward is the true path to living your life with purpose, living your purpose while you are still alive. Paying forward means you are investing in yourself, and other people will come will be attracted to you, and they will take from you whatever they need in that moment in time. And you don't need to quantify, you don't need to measure. It is a divine balance in the quantum of events. And that divine balance is exactly what you need to respect. But coming back to paying forward, the only way you could be paying forward is by focusing on your true passion. Unless you respect that, unless you respect who you are, and unless you love who you are, it's very unlikely that things will start unfolding for you, and will still have that feeling that, the victim attitude, that, things are happening to me. Why everything is happening to me? But actually, whatever it is happening for you, so you could finally start paying forward. For me, everything is about paying forward. It is nothing to do with me even. I'm just the coin, the karmic coin that somebody needs to pay their own way in life. And we have a magazine coming up soon. We are going to launch it at the W.O.R.K.S scheme, and it's called Sovereign. Because my whole idea about Radio Wars World was to create a coin. Sovereign is nothing original, but because I believe success is a karmic coin. On one facet you have your past, on the other one is your vision. So I wanted to create a coin for every single person who ever shared their story on Radio W.O.R.K.S World. And then I thought the Quantum of Light, the magazine for authors and authors to be, will have a supplement called Sovereign, where people who don't want to write a book, because not everybody wants to write a book, they will be featured anyway. So everybody who is coming to our Make the News events, like we've been in January and February, every single one of them, they will see themselves into this magazine. So they will be featured. Their story, I will showcase their vision into the Sovereign. And coming back to the idea of the coin, Sovereign long ago was worth almost nothing, but now it's worth £500,000. So you see, one day could worth a lot of money for somebody else. And this is how I want to pay forward, by broadcasting your story, by showcasing your vision. Because yes, maybe your dream sounds crazy and you don't even feel like sharing the dream because it's so big. But guess what? That dream won't come to you if you weren't the person to turn it into a reality. And to turn your dream into a reality, first, you have to visualize it. First, you have to create your vision, to get clarity, because vision means clarity.
Yeah.
And that clarity, it's just one moment away from reality. And this, if you think about this journey, this is like for some people it's like a jet set, for some people it's like a bus, for some people it's like a train, or fast train, bullet train, you know. So it is your mind. Things are coming into your mind, and that's the dream. And the bigger the dream, the better, because you see, when it's a big dream, will accommodate a lot more people, will help more people. If it's a small dream, like all I want is to pay my mortgage or my rent, then this is exactly what you are going to do.
Yeah.
But if you are thinking if you are thinking of the bigger scale of things, and you have a big dream, that could be the answer for millions of people.
Yeah.
And the dream came to you means, and apparently it's coming to the same invention, the same concept is coming to different people in different sides of parts of the world at the same time, just in case some will give up because they will find an excuse, oh, I'm just human.
Yeah.
And at least one will be the humankind who will deliver the vision and make the reality.
It's interesting that you talk about dreams being big. Richard Branson has said that if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. And I think that you are the person who grabs people and makes them see bigger dreams. So we'll come to you and we'll say, oh, I've got this dream. And you say, oh, yeah, and you could do this and this and this. And it goes from mini dream to, well, yeah.
But
You
imagine,
are
for
a dream
example,
expander.
your dream to having the couple of years ago of having the Forever Young in one of our beautiful British parks during the British summer, and inviting people from all over the world. It's happening this year, and it's going to be a dream experience. It's going to be so memorable. So many people are going to come and share their wisdom, share their autograph their books, and present their offers to the world, showcase their vision. And isn't that wonderful? Isn't that all about feeling free? So actually, you know, like there are places where you could go and do that, but it's so expensive. It's almost like, okay, I done all this and now I can't do it because it's all outside my budget. I can't, you know, break the bank to create this or be there. But the whole idea is to create amazing experiences where people don't need to struggle. They could with the price of a coffee or whatever it is, with the sovereign. This is what I want. I want, in my mind, because we are having a very large event in October. You remember the one we had last year, the Authors Awards for radio presenters. This year we are going to have 1,500 people.
Wow.
First week in October. So to come to that event, it will be the sovereign. You only have to have the sovereign. So if you share the story already, means you could have the sovereign. So if you don't, you could, you know, just commit yourself to be the sovereign. and you'll share your story, and we'll take it from there. So the sovereign have to be like a passepartout for your success. And I see this sovereign, which is your dream. And first is in your mind, and then you get the people you need around you to become a vision, and then you get more people to turn it into a reality. I see this being very, very valuable, not in 200 years time from now, but maybe sooner. But it will be very, very valuable for somebody else. And this is how you pay forward. This is the light I was talking about. Because yes, I might have some dark thoughts. Sometimes I really don't have dark thoughts. So that's why I feel I'm in my own light. So whatever comes at me each day, from the moment I wake up, I'm so excited about what's happening next. I don't have a clue. Usually I don't make plans. I just go with whatever is in front of me, and I'm so grateful for walking in the rain, or being kissed by the sun, or just looking at the daffodils yesterday. I was so happy. I felt like dancing and singing, just looking at the daffodils. So I don't know if it's something wrong with me, but this is how I feel. So I had many times people asking me, why are you laughing at? Why are you smiling at? As if it's something wrong. And at the time, I was thinking maybe I should not smile that much, but I couldn't. So do you really need a reason, an outside reason to smile? Or you could just smile with no reason? I don't know. There are choices. There are choices, and your book is giving you the tools to make those choices which are helping you to pay forward. And
that's what I want to do.
Having the paying forward as a way of life. Because like wealth, people think wealth is about money, and it's not. Wealth is about your mind. It's how you connect with your own mind. And connecting with your own mind is something only you could do. Nobody else can, and nobody can stop you. So that's being the sovereign. That's the whole idea behind the sovereign. You become the sovereign of your own life. You make your decisions. You create the rules. You create the internal laws. You create the laws of attraction. And it's all to do with having a system that helps you paying forward.
Yeah. Can I just, because you said in order to pay it forward, you need to know who you are, and I think that's really, really powerful. But I do think that it's difficult for some people to know who they really are, and how, because I know you're really good at helping people with this. How would you say that people can find their way to who they really are? Because sometimes we don't stop moving enough to even think about who we are, do we? I think some people are so busy.
Yes, because it is social conditioning, and you are expected to deliver a certain set of results, which are not necessarily your results for you. They're for other people. Let's say you work in a large organization or a small business, and people expect you to deliver certain things for them. And you get paid or not is not even relevant. You focus on their dream. You become part of their dream.
Yeah.
So when I think just thinking of what you really want is very important, and allowing yourself to love yourself first. You can't really love anyone unless you love yourself. So it's almost like saying, oh, I speak Japanese, but I don't know Japanese. It's exactly the same thing. So I think being ready to embrace your truth. Yes, I'm not perfect. I don't wish to be perfect. I will take myself as I am, and I will grow my wings to my best ability. This is what I'm telling myself all the time. I'm far from perfect. I'm work in progress, and I'm happy with that. That's my truth. I'm not somebody who is perfect and somebody who wishes to be focused on being perfect. I don't focus on being perfect. I just focus on being myself, because whatever it is that I have and I work on it, somebody is going to benefit, and that will make me very happy. You know, in a way, sounds like you focus on yourself and you are selfish, but you love yourself and you are self, but actually it's not true. When you love yourself means you could love others. You are kind to yourself, you are kind to others. And when you focus on yourself means you are serious about who you are. You really care what you create, what is your legacy, what you deliver, because a lot of people are creating, but then they think they are not good enough to deliver. They are not worthy of delivering their works. And this is exactly where I step in, and sometimes I twist your arm or whatever I do to make what is the world is waiting on you. And some people think that they are waiting on the world, but the world was here first. So I'm not entitled to anything that is in the world unless there's something wrong in my mind. So entitlement is the first thing my students are learning. So entitlement is almost like the poisonous gas that goes into your mind. So I'm not entitled to anything. I have what I make of it. I take the life, the moment right now, as it is right now, and I make the best of it. And that's the feeling I have inside. The other, so one thing is entitlement, how to turn your back on entitlement, how to learn that happiness is something you carry inside already, and you have so much that you could give others. It's not something you chase outside. Happiness is not going to come from chasing the next earthy goal, like buying the next big house or getting the next big job. It's not. It's the opposite. It's finding, looking inside and finding what is your gift, what is your talent, what is your unique, absolutely unique skill that you love developing all the time. What is that doesn't get you tired? And secondly, is when you realize that life could end tomorrow, could end today.
Yeah.
Might not, but it's very possible. So what is that you leave behind? What is that you are going to be remembered by? And in many ways, yes, why do you care? You are not going to be here to benefit from it. So that's why I'm thinking, deliver now while you are alive. Don't wait to die first for people to recognize you. And you could leave your legacy. You don't need to necessarily not benefit from your legacy. So those two things, entitlement or non-entitlement is a way of life, and your legacy. It's each moment could be your legacy. So you could take time off, you could relax, you could feel happy that you are delivering something that is so valuable and it's so unique. And that's you. That's being you. Embracing your truth and endorsing your own vision. That's being you.
I think you're really good at finding people, and it doesn't matter how young they are either. Some very young people have come to you, and they know that there's something they want to share, something inside them that is spectacular, that is their unique you. And they don't have to be young. This can be people in their middle age as well that have spent years and years just doing things that we're used to doing in society, and then they come to an event like yours, and you're saying to people, there's something unique in you that you need to share with the world, and people never get told that in places elsewhere in the world. when you go to school, they don't tell you that you're unique. They tell you you have to wear the same clothes as everybody else. You have to do the same work as everybody else. You have to get the same grades as everybody else, and you have to go to university with everybody else, and you have to come and get a job with everybody else. And they never tell you you're unique. And then they come to you and you say, you're unique. There's something spectacular and special inside of you that you need to share with the world, and that will benefit the world and make you more happy. And I think that most people have never heard that. So sometimes and it happened that night at Mahiki on the 31st. And again, I think at the at your speaking event that you did in the Crown Plaza, where the next event's going to be, your very first. My brain stopped working. It's not Radio Works, because you've branded this as the new brand, isn't it? These speaking events. So I think people come along and for the very first time ever get to think about what is unique inside of them, because they've always shared something. They've always done things that they've been told this is what you do in society. And you're very good at helping people find that unique thing inside of them. And I think that's a talent you have. How would you suggest people, if they've got no clue what that might be, how do you think people should tap into that unique talent? How do you think people find that uniqueness inside themselves, that story that they want to share? How do you help people find that?
Yes, so for me, the power of the story, we are teaching people how to share the story the right way. But before that, there is another conversation you have with yourself. And, that story you tell yourself when nobody is listening. And that is the most important story you'll ever hear or share. So that story have to be spot on. That sharing, that it's almost like the share of your worth. Like we're talking about sharing and shares. if I pronounce it correctly. So every single thought coming to your mind when you talk to yourself about yourself and nobody's listening, that's your capital. That's your vault. That's your the bank of your dreams. That's your vault. This is exactly how you identify your true worth, your truth, who you are. Because most people will ask you, how do you do? What do you do for a living? And that straight away puts you in a different dimension. Like you are a number, a reference number, instead of asking who I want to be. Because you see, you can't change your circumstances, but every single human being got this amazing, tremendous power to change the words they're using when they talk. And that applies when you have that talk with yourself. So changing the words you are using when talking with yourself about yourself and nobody's listening, this is where everything starts.
It's interesting. I was when I was writing the book, I was talking in it about the fact that when we introduce ourselves, and these are the words we use all of the time. Hello, I'm Kim. I'm an aromatherapist. And when we went to Raymond Aaron's event, which is where I met you, and you've been going for a long time, but Raymond Aaron always taught people to say, I am thee. And
yes.
So I'm the Forever Young host, and I help people to achieve younger and healthier skin.
Actually, just that. That's if you could just stop on that for a second. Just that piece of education alone, that's worth millions. Raymond is a genius, and I I always said he's a genius and is nothing that can change that. And when you think of yourself as the doctor or the dentist or the whoever, is different than you think I'm any doctor, any dentist, any author. So makes you makes you think, gosh, I might be something. I better discover who I am. And is where everything starts with that word. Everything starts, and starts by you looking at yourself with a different pair of eyes. And this is a very simple exercise. So if you just write down, because when you write things down, there are thousands of parts of your body taking part, so it's very engaging. So not typing, just writing by hand and with a blue pen, as I learned from Daniel Serpico. So be a blue pen. Yes.
Oh, I've used always black. I must kick those out.
So if you write down, I am the founder of Forever Young, it's very different than when you are saying, I'm an author, I wrote a book called Forever Young. So got different layers of vibrations. So because we are vibrational beings, we are made of energy. And when you pronounce certain words, you are already in a different dimension. You position yourself in your own mind in a different place. So all it takes is for you to position yourself in a different place than before.
Yeah. And I think I was thinking about it, and I was thinking you could move on from being the, because you can never move on from being the, but actually in your head you can move on, and that's what you're just saying as well, that you can move away from being the author of, and in some way once you've become more than that, you feel it inside. If you can say it outside, then you can feel it inside.
No, definitely. And it's also to do with what's next. You see how Cherry Chapman, she teaches brilliantly to find your why, because there are so many layers of that why, and it's just like mind-blowing. But for me, I was already there, and I did not know what's next. So then I went to do the next big thing, because that's the scary part. So yes, you got your why, you understand why you are doing what you are doing, or being who you are, and what you are not being who you are, and all that amazingness about yourself. And then I did not know what now. You know, that was my biggest challenge all the time. Once I achieved something, what's next? So that's why what I'm sharing with my clients is always about start with the end in mind. Start, even when you write a book, you have to start with the book title. Because unless you have that clarity, that dream is very unlikely will become a vision. And that vision stands no chances of becoming your reality. So starting with the end in mind is always about why not? What's the next big thing? So why not? So, you know, sometimes I'm thinking that is so much happening in your life that it's blocking your main memory. It's blocking your vault, and your dream gets locked inside and can't come out because you forget the password or whatever, the code. So remembering who you are and where you are going, that two things that very important. Because there will be crashing demands on you, like this, that, you know, everybody wants something of you. Everybody wants a slice of you. And you feel like eaten alive. You feel like, oh my God, what is that I'm doing? What's this? But I'm not saying to ignore the crashing demands made on you. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, think what is important. It's important to know who you are. Remember who you are. You already know. In your heart of hearts, you know you are not just this. You know must be more to life. Otherwise, it's not worth it. So remember who you are and where you are going, because there will be diversions, roadblocks, and all that. But at all times, you have to remember, where are you going?
Sometimes as well, I was thinking about this last night because I'm writing another book, and my daughter was saying to me, "Well, you need to do this and that," and I was saying, "No, but this has got to be out. I need to finish writing this by tomorrow, so that it can be edited and sent off." And she said, "But it's just another book. You wrote one already, and so what?" And and she didn't do anything with it, and she can't see my internal vision. She can only see on the outside that I haven't put the dishwasher on or cooked dinner, or that maybe I need to go shopping, or that I've just told the clinic where I've been working that I'm not going to stay there any longer after the clients that are already booked in are completed. So she's saying, well, you should go and get another job, and she doesn't see the internal things going on inside of me, so she can't see that this is worthwhile for me to be doing. And
but you see how that is not her. But you see how that's not her job to see.
No,
It is
yeah,
your job to
yeah,
deliver. Because I had the same. I had exactly the same.
yeah,
And of course different, but in essence it was the same. Other people who thought I lost it. I lost the plot, like, what is she doing? And they couldn't get, even people close to me, people who love me, they start thinking that something wrong with my mind. I'm not anymore the transactional person I used to be. But I couldn't, and I can't. I grew my wings. So now I'm flying. It's very hard to bring them up where I feel I am. And they don't know humans could fly. They don't understand that.
yeah.
And while for me life is exciting and each moment is amazing, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's next? They are still wondering how I'm going to pay my rent or how I'm going to pay. So when you focus, you put your energy that direction, this is where everything goes.
Yeah, and it would be very easy to say, well, look, I need to be sensible. I should go and get a job, and this is, just, I could just put it on the back burner and go and write out some CVs and send them off to companies, and spend my day doing that instead. I could do that, and actually, if I was trying to be sensible on some level, if somebody, if the voice in my head was saying, no, come on, be sensible, instead of saying, no, open this door, this needs to come out, this is more important, it would be very easy for somebody to make you close that door again, make you lock the vault back up again, and so it's quite difficult for people, I think, because people outside of you don't get it generally, and you just have to say to those people that are willing to, just trust me, and with the people that are not willing to, you just have to kind of ignore what they're saying and say, I'm sorry, but this is where I'm going anyway, and I hope that you'll see that in the long run that it was worthwhile.
Yeah, yes. So you see, I think paid forward is a way of life, and it's not about you. It's about you being kind and compassionate and generous, because we all are born with the same gift. And I said this before, is the gift of giving. So whatever it is that you have abundantly, this is what you give. So we all have the same gift, the gift of giving. And the difference people make in their own life is by taking that gift of giving to the next level. I tend to, as a, I know our time is coming to an end on the show, but we'll be talking more next time. But I tend to believe that at the end of each day, I'm not thinking how many, let's say, how many results I accumulated, you know. I'm thinking how many seeds I planted. This is how I assess my day. So I think each day you have the chance to plant a seed, and that's doing something for somebody else, a total stranger perhaps. But guess what? That includes yourself, because there is no greater way of lifting yourself up than lifting somebody else up. You know, even the people who are not able to pay you for your service, or you know, they will pay forward, because your kindness is like music, and music is the only weapon that doesn't hit you, doesn't hurt you and hit you. So once you go into that place where you understand that there is more to life than what I can have, there is who I can be, that changes everything. And I think Gandhi said that you have to be the change you want to see in the world. But for me, this translates into you have to be the change, you have to be the sovereign, the coin, the karmic coin you want to see in the world. And it is what you make of it. It's never easy, but it is possible. And pay it forward is it's hard for people who are used to things, to look at things the way they used to look at things. So it's a kind of unlearning. So I think this is very important. You really have to unlearn everything you knew to be able to learn who you are.
Yeah, I think that we have to kind of unpeel all the layers that society has put on you, don't you? All the things that people have told you you are and you should do and you should be, and you have to unpeel those first until you get down to who you really are, and that's who you should be.
Wow, Kim. Wow, I think we have another minute left. What is the key message for today?
I think the key message for today is that Marina is laying on the most spectacular event at the end of the month. It will be red carpet and food is included. And people don't believe me when I tell them it's £97 or for general entry for the 2 days. 2-day event, not just 1-day event, 2-day event for £97. That's, I don't even know how she's managing that. I think she's magic, really. she's got some of those special coins laid aside somewhere that she's using to pay for this from her heart, because there's no way that people are getting everything they're getting for £97. And she's offering workshops, and there will be speakers, and people, authors are going to be signing their books and talking about the books, and then there are going to be people there supporting and helping people to write their books, helping them to work out what their stories are. They're going to be professional photos taken. You can't even get professional photos taken for £97. You can't. It's just mad. And if you want to go to the VIP dinner then the price goes up. There's spectacular evening dinner, and the VIP stuff is I think is it £497, Marina?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, but that's the normal entry price, isn't it, for most events? So I
Yes,
don't need to
yes.
know what you
So
do.
I think in the way I see it, I see that we are stardust, and this is the stardust experience. So the first day, everybody gets awarded, and their picture, professional picture taken, because most people, even they have a great idea, they don't have a picture, and that is holding them back, and that doesn't allow the others to see them. And then you have to put a face to your idea. So it is about personal branding, and with our professional picture, the chances of being seen are very minimal. And the second day is the Stardust workshop, when you go through all the layers, the things that other people don't share really. They just show the end result. We are going to the kitchen of creating that recipe for success, and we are going to learn how to share the story the right way, the storytelling the right way, and is done to perfection by Sherry Chapman, which is the genius of storytelling. Then we are going to learn how to structure the book, how to create, put the windows in the right, on the external wall, not the internal walls, how to put the kitchen facing south, and so on. So then we are going to learn how to make the news, how to be seen on magazines, be interviewed on TV, radio, offline, online, and become the ninja of your own vision. Because unless you are seen, unless you are heard, unless you are present, nobody's going to notice you. There's so much going on that when somebody goes to your web page, even if they have the kindness to stop there, they'll be there for 3 seconds, not more. So I really believe that everybody deserves to be seen and to be heard and to be present on the red carpet. This is my belief.
Yeah. And so please come and be present on the red carpet, and then you'll get to be seen and heard. But if you're not present on the red carpet, then you're going to miss this amazing event, and maybe your chance to be seen and be heard will have to take a back seat for a while until there's another event.
Yes, and I think it's more to do the experience of walking on the red carpet, because experience is something nobody can take away from you. So
Yeah.
there are lots of things in life that coming and going, but that experience is something that stays with you. You take it home with you, and you start looking at life with a different pair of eyes. From both of us, until next time, forever young is a way of life. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.